One of the most difficult things that I found about being in college is filling your time. You have so much time compared to high school and any other institution that you've ever attended. Like, most likely you no longer have sports. You no longer have just these extracurricular things that normally you would have to go through on a weekly basis. You don't have to go to school 8 and 9 hours a day for 5 days a week. That doesn't happen. Hi, my name is Victoria. On my channel, we like to talk about tips for life, tips for college, tips for people who are my age, 19-ish, 20, young adult life, end of teenage years, not really understanding anything. That's where we're at right now. If you like that content, please hit the subscribe button or follow me on any of the social medias. Today, as I mentioned, we're talking about things that you can do in your free time at college, because it's going to hit you like a brick wall and you're going to be bored. If you haven't experienced this already, you're going to. If you haven't been in college yet and you're going to college, you're probably going to experience some intense boredom. So the first thing that you can do is you can find some hobbies. There are a lot of clubs on your campus, and there's probably some clubs that deal with stuff that you like. There's often clubs for photography or for, I know there's a lot of campuses that have Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. There's just a lot of clubs that you can find on campuses, and usually your campus website will have a specific web page where you can search for specific clubs and you can find the contact information of the people who organize them. Another thing about clubs is that you can use them to better your major. I'm a film production major, so there's some film production clubs that I could join if I wanted to get a group together and make a film. They do a 48-hour film festival, and most, if not all, colleges do that, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of a big deal. Some other hobbies that you could consider are reading. Reading is something that I hadn't touched all that much throughout high school. I loved reading in middle school, but I kind of worked my way away from that during high school because I didn't have that much time. But now I read more than I did. I definitely read more than I did in high school. Not more than I did in middle school, because I would read 2 books a week and it was kind of crazy. You could also pursue drawing. If you're an art major, this can really benefit your future in that sense, because you can build your portfolio just by doing something you like in your free time. And just in general, you could do something related to your major to either, if you're an art major or another humanities major, you can build your portfolio that way. Or you can do experimental projects if you were I don't know, an engineering major. I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with that sort of thing, but if you were an engineering major, you could do little side projects, or if you were a business major, you could pursue making business models. I don't know if you enjoy doing that. I know I'm a film production major, so doing that sort of thing to help it in my free time is enjoyable, but I know not everybody chooses their major on the level that they enjoy it. My second main tip is start working. You might not want to do this, and I can completely respect that, because working while you're in school it's an added stress that you don't really need. Usually you have your tuition paid for before you even set foot on campus, so it's really not needed mostly. But last year I got a job because I was bored. I absolutely hated the job, so I didn't do it this semester. But, if you're that kind of person that likes to have your free time filled up, a job, you might consider pursuing a job at some point, whether it be on campus or off. Now, this is going to sound really dumb and kind of like nerdy, but you can do extra schoolwork. Extra credit is going to be your best friend if you're struggling in a subject, and it's going to be your best friend regardless if you're struggling or not. You should always do extra credit just for that extra cushion, just in case something happens catastrophic to your grade. So you can spend your free time doing that. I know a lot of arts majors on my campus, at least last year when we could actually go out, they would have you go and see a movie for extra credit, and then you would like write a paragraph about it. But like usually you would watch a movie in your free time anyway, so I mean, if you get extra credit for it, why not, kind of thing. The next tip is it's kind of like a new thing that people are pursuing because they're bored. It's like starting a side hustle. Like people my age have started doing, especially print on demand sites, stuff like Redbubble and Teespring, I think, does print on demand too. They're really easy. They take care of shipping and all that stuff for you. All you have to do is make the designs. I'm pretty sure Teespring's like that. I know Redbubble is. I'm not sure about Teespring, so don't quote me on that. But they're super easy to use, and you know, they take a while to grow, but if you're really bored and you want to put your energy in something, that's something that you could do that would really benefit you in the future if it really started to pop off. You could also do this. You could do YouTube. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but for me, it is contributing to my experience. So I want to be an editor. I want to be a video editor. I hate dealing with sound, if you can't tell. But I want to be a video editor, so me making 2 videos a week or even more is giving me experience with the program, me getting faster, that sort of thing. It is benefiting me while I'm filling my time, kind of thing. You could also use Facebook Marketplace. I'm not really familiar with Facebook Marketplace, but a lot of people talk about it to like sell clothes and like furniture that you might not need anymore. So that might be something that you pursue. You can also do Etsy, which is a little bit more involved. So if you're in college, maybe not do this because you have to deal with shipping, you have to deal with like making the product, you have to deal with pretty much everything. The only thing that Etsy provides you is basically the web page, so you basically have to do the rest of the work. So it's very time consuming, especially when things start to really, you know, get up there and orders start to come in. And just like freelance in general, like if you're artistic, you could do commissions, or you could just, you know, do any sort of like freelance work. It's not really that hard to do. It takes up your time. You could get money for it. Number 5 is find some friends to go on adventures with. I know I am in a city that I'm not very familiar with when I'm in college, so it's very easy for me to find an area that I'm not familiar with. So, you know, I could take an afternoon where I go someplace that I've never heard of before and we can just like explore. And if this is especially like something you could do if you're in a place that you've never been in before, like if you went to school in LA and you lived kind of on the eastern side of the United States, you could explore, you know, California or Los Angeles or wherever your college is, kind of thing. Sorry, I'm like losing my voice because I haven't really talked that much today. Number 6 is something that I don't really like. I don't really like sororities, I don't like fraternities. But you could go Greek, you could rush a sorority. It definitely fills your time. It also shows on your resume that you were involved on campus, which is important. And it also offers opportunities of leadership later on in your college career. Number 7 is somewhat related, and it's like honor societies, which provides the same sort of opportunities and time fillers that Greek sororities and fraternities give you, except usually without housing. At least on my campus, our Greek life has their own little section where they have houses, and the sororities and fraternities live there, most of them. But our honor societies are not necessarily the same. We don't have housing for them, is what I'm saying. And my 8th tip is taking classes out of your comfort zone that require you to do work outside of them. And I mean like extensive work, like, for example, there was a class I was considering taking. It was called, I think it was like Piano 1, and it was for non-music majors that I was interested in taking. And that would require a lot of work outside it because I would obviously have to practice and do all of that outside work that you have to do as a musician. But it would take up a lot of my time, and I would, theoretically enjoy it. Well, those are some ideas for taking up your time at college, and if you don't have this problem, you're lucky, because I'm bored all the time, and I'd rather be productive about my time than stare at TikTok and Netflix for hours on end, but that's just me. So yeah, if you have suggestions for what to do, drop them in the comments, because the people who are watching this, and me included, can get all the suggestions they can get, because, boredom is something that, especially now, we're fighting, because COVID has been going on for so long and stuff has been closed for so long that I think the boredom is starting to get to us. But that's all I have for you today. This video right here is something you might like, and I'll see you there.